Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. Well, we're into the last month of the quarter. Overall, the equity markets have done quite well year to date if you're in the right areas. And I do want to give our staff a pat on the back, doing a great job on all the research that we do on a daily basis for our clients. The most important thing that I can stress to every single client is research. We spend a lot of money as a firm and a lot of time doing research on not only the economies here, but also around the world, but also the investments that we are invested in and looking for future opportunities. I've had a number of clients, which I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit again. Questions: what happens if a Democrat's president or if it's a Republican? And I'm going to say this as simple as possible. It really doesn't matter statistically if there's a Democrat or Republican in the White House, because remember, both sides spend money. If Biden was in as president, he's going to want to spend money. If Donald Trump's in as president, he's going to want to spend money. They're going to spend money in slightly different areas. So certain investment opportunities that we may be in now, we may be adjusting if Donald Trump was not a two-term president. And of course, if there's a Democrat, and we would make some adjustments accordingly. But that doesn't just crater the economy nor the stock market overall. So again, rest assured, Democrat, Republican in the White House, but policies, I will stress that, do matter. Ultimately, this president, and again, I'm not pushing one party or the other, that's your own decision, but this president's policy, the current administration, they have been spot on quality policy. Low taxation for individuals and corporations make a huge difference in growth. So would we have better growth under a Donald Trump presidency? We firmly believe we would. Lower taxes, of course, across the board. If you look at all the things this administration has done with deregulation, has been huge for businesses, which is ultimately going to help the economy. And it's going to help every taxpayer and every person that lives in this country, whether you're Democrat or Republican. So again, ultimately, policies matter. Sound policies for growth. I think this president's got a lot of good things that they're going to work on in the next 4 years. In my opinion, I've had clients ask. I firmly believe he will be a two-term president from our internal polling that we do, and statistically from a lot of the things we're looking at that most people ultimately don't see. I wouldn't believe any of the media, and I've talked about this before, not about the election, but in general. Most media is hyped up, and basically it's a way to sell advertising. So again, if you want quality news, you're going to have to dig around. You're going to have to listen to more boring shows like Bloomberg, or go on the internet and find factual white papers about the economy or in the investment markets, or just news in general, if you want to get away from all this political garbage that we're seeing, ultimately from both sides. What we really see as we get into the year end is this, and I'm going to talk specifically about the state of Florida just as an example. I firmly believe this season coming up, which is really going to happen in about a month, season is really opening back up in Florida. Florida as a state is going to do incredibly well. In my opinion, they're going to have the biggest tourist season in history this season. Why is that? Because a lot of the other areas that people would travel to, even the Caribbean islands, a lot of them are still kind of closed off. And of course, a lot of people aren't going over to Europe or China. So ultimately, I think Florida as a state is going to be very busy this tourist season, and they're going to have a record year. And also, I will mention this. Florida as a state is having a record number of new residents that are moving from other cities or states around the country because of the quality lifestyle Florida provides and the low tax rate, not only on property tax, but income tax, as we all know. So Florida as a state's doing quite well. There's other states in the country also doing well. There's states, of course, and cities doing very poorly. Again, how you run your city, just like how you run a business, is going to matter. And ultimately, the U.S., in our opinion, is going to be the best place to be invested through the rest of this year and going into next year. We're going to be making a few subtle changes coming up across the board in our client portfolios, so kind of just be on the lookout for that. Things that we feel are going to be even a little bit better opportunities and trim a little bit of exposure, and things we feel have run up a little too much. But ultimately, remember, volatility is normal. Expect a 5 to 10% pullback potentially sometime this year. But remember, all asset categories, not just the stock market, but the bond market, real estate, gold, everything has pullbacks inter-year. It is normal. We've had a big pullback, obviously, in the first, second quarter of this year. We've rebounded. Things are at essentially pretty much new high ground. But expect volatility. It's normal. But as always, as a client of our firm, if you have any questions, any concerns, please call us at the office. I always love talking to clients. If we need to schedule a phone review, we can do that. If you want to come into the office for an in-office review, we can do that also. Whatever works best for you. And as always, we appreciate your business, your trust, and think about us when you're talking to friends and family. We always appreciate new business, especially when it comes from our existing clients. Have a safe and profitable day.